once you're comfortable, just put your hands wherever feels right for you. You can let your eyes close. If you don't want to, leave them open. Whatever feels best puts you at ease. And we're going to start by taking 5 breaths. So we're going to breathe in and then breathe out. And we're going to count from 5 down to 0. Taking 5 complete breaths. And every time you breathe out, you're going to let a little bit more tension go in your body. So you release it from shoulders, neck, hips, back, ankles, knees, wherever you're holding it. Everyone holds it in their own places. And if you find you get to 4 or 2 and you start thinking again, or you get distracted, it's no problem. You get back to 5 and you start again. And it might take you a week, a month, a year to make it all the way down to 0 without wandering off into thoughts. That's fine. It's a practice. We're all learning together. So there's no rush. You can only do it a step at a time. So take as many cycles through that as you need to. If you need to pause it, pause the video and work through some more of those just to find yourself a bit settled, then just pause now and come back to it when you're ready. But keep working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Complete breaths to 0 until you feel your body is completely relaxed. And when you find your body's completely relaxed, we're just going to focus on the actual parts of the breath. So there's 3 parts of our breath. There's the inhalation, and as you breathe in, you notice it's quite active. You have to draw breath into the body, and when you do it, you feel your chest lift and expand, your shoulders broaden and lift a little bit. And the air coming into the body might make a certain noise as it whistles in through the nose. It feels quite cold. And then as you breathe back out again, it's a very different sensation. It's very relaxing. You just let go and the breath will find its own way out. So you just let it trickle away from the body. Don't force it out. And as it trickles away, you feel tension releasing. Everything drops. You feel like the tension just falls out of your body. And the air coming out of your nose is much more gentle, much warmer, because it's been warmed by the body as it's passed through the lungs. And then in between the in-breath and the out-breath, you've got another small gap you might not even notice, and that's the gap of no breath at all. So at each end of the breath, there's a period of nothing. It might be a millisecond, or you can make it longer. So we're just going to look at those 3 stages. Just be completely aware, 100% aware of those 3 parts of your breath. Probably for the first time today, or maybe in your life, you're completely aware of the fact that you're actually breathing. And just allow yourself to focus on the sound, the body, sensations. Don't need to focus on anything else. Anytime you get distracted, that's just normal. It's not an obstruction to fight against. You just gently come away from your distraction and just find your breath again. And then we're going to gently start to bring a bit more attention to our breath. So we're going to start to count the breath. So you can take any counted pattern that works for you. I normally work with breathing in for a count of 4. It might be 4 seconds or 4 heartbeats. I hold on to the breath for the same time. So it might be 4, 5, however long I breathed in for. And then I allow the breath just to slip out of my body. And that will probably take about double the amount of time. So you might find a pattern of 4 in, holding for 4, trickling away for 8. You might find that it's 5, 5, 10, or something completely different. Try and find a pattern that suits you. If you force it, you're just setting up more conflict. You're fighting your own body. Find something that sits nicely and just stick with that. And that's a really strong thing to focus on. So again, there's nothing magical about the breath, there's nothing magical about these numbers, there's nothing magical about counting. You're just training yourself, because it's very hard just to draw away from those distractions without anything to come to, certainly at first. So every time you're distracted, you come back to that counted breath. You just find that pattern again. You're just focusing on the breath. And you can continue with that as long as you want. That might take a minute, it might take a few minutes, 10, 15, as long as you want to. That might just be the whole focus of your meditation. It's not up to me to tell you how to do it. But when you feel that that's enough for you, and you've found some focus and you become more still and less quickly distracted, you might start to notice that your thoughts are coming less rapidly. So we're going to turn the attention just to the body now that we've calmed the breath and the mind. And we'll just bring the attention to the toes, starting at the big toes, and then second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, soles of the feet, heels, ankles, lower part of the legs, calves and shins, knees, thighs, hips, pelvis, lower part of the back, middle part of the back, shoulder blades, and then your belly, your chest, your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, palms of the hand, thumbs, first finger, second fingers, third fingers, and your little fingers, your neck, your throat, your chin and your jaw, your mouth, your lips, your tongue, your nose, your left eye, your right eye, left eyebrow, right eyebrow, your forehead, left ear, right ear, your scalp and your hair, right to the very top of your head. So we started with the breath, and then we brought the attention to the body. You could take an hour going through the body bit by bit if you wanted. That was very fast. You can go through 1 foot at a time, 1 finger at a time. Take it as long as you want to. If at any point you feel uncomfortable mentally or physically, you just open your eyes, get up, have a walk around. Don't feel that you have to stay in it and feel uncomfortable in any way, physically or mentally. And we've worked through the breath, we've worked through the body, and then we'll just work through the senses. So we're going to work with the ears. So just listening for any sounds in the room. There might be your breath. There might be sounds of people outside the room, cars, planes, birds, wind. You'll notice an awful lot of things that you didn't notice were there 2 seconds ago. And as you notice those sounds, you become aware again of your body, of all the points where your body's touching the floor, all the points where your body's touching other parts of your body. You become aware again of your breath, the sound of your breath, the sensation of your breath. And we're starting to develop this thing called deconcentration, where rather than focusing very specifically on one thing, it's like your attention is spread to many things at once. You're aware of everything around you. And the present moment seems very rich and colourful and full of stuff that you probably didn't even realise was in it. So we're always looking for stuff to fill our day up, when actually every moment's already very full. We don't need to create extra stuff. And we'll just take a few more breaths there. Just enjoying that sense of being aware of everything without needing to think. Don't need to think about any of it. Thinking is completely surplus right now. And then it's important to bring ourselves gently back into the room. So we start by just letting our breath become deeper. And you're just going to take some deeper breaths, counting up now from 0 up to 5. So with every breath you feel more connected, more awake. If you're coming back to your body, back to the room, you might start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel that life flooding into every part of your physical self. You might take a nice breath to stretch overhead, stretch your fingers and toes out, your arms. And then just taking your thumb and just pressing firmly against each finger in turn. So you press firmly against the first fingers, then you squeeze the second finger to your thumb, third finger, little finger, name them as you go. So you really connect everything back together, you're completely aware again. And then in your own time, when you're ready, you open your eyes again and you find yourself still without needing to think, if you don't want to carry on thinking, but hopefully at least a little bit more in touch with yourself, a bit calmer. So that was probably about 15 or 20 minutes, which is plenty of time. You don't need to sit for hours unless you really want to. Morning is a really good time to do it when you first wake up. If you're not a morning person, then you fit it into wherever feels right for your day. But again, just take it easy. If you go too far too quick, you'll find it becomes uncomfortable. You might go, you don't want to make yourself feel mentally or physically uncomfortable. If you were training to run a marathon, you wouldn't go out and run 20 miles on your first day of training. You'd build slowly, slowly, slowly up. And meditation or getting to know your own mind is exactly the same. It's a slow and steady process. You'll lose, heart if you push it too quickly, too fast. So just very slowly, very gently, and remember, there's no right or wrong. Even if you think you sat there for 15 minutes and you couldn't stop thinking, then that's great, because for 15 minutes you were aware that you were thinking. And normally, for 24 hours of the day, you're thinking and you've not even got any idea that you're thinking. So it's a process. So good luck, keep it up. Any questions, feel free to give me a shout.